Allegiant Stadium, opened back in 2020. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. A shotgun snap for Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A first down and then some. 36 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Hands it off out of the gun.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now Smith. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Brock Bowers, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing is Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. So the completion good for 6 yards, and now it's 3rd and 3. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Oh, man, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And slapping each other on the back up in the booths right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Out of the gun, Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 41-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing is Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. The ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
But it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw, Smith. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They begin the drive with Williams. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Jeremy Chin there defensively.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Here is 3rd down and 4. Now it's Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Stafford to Higbee there. Rams first down.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago. So a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there. And they get the first down.
Stafford. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Here's Stafford. That's quickly to Atwell on the slant. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now Stafford. Well, that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they started some fighting them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Pass complete there to Nacua. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Williams is going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by the Kyren Williams touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 35, here's a 2nd down and 9. From the gun, here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9. Now Geno. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Thornton. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Smith now to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Bowers. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 19. He has already cracked the century mark in receiving in this opening quarter.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Smith. And it's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. From 19 yards away, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Play action. Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 more on that one and another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Stafford now to throw. Short throw. It's Higbee. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and a yard. Back to throw. Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
To the air again. Stafford. This is caught. And the Rams are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Williams. Looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Williams again. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Kyren Williams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Rams are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Smith. Over the middle, he's got Myers. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. It will be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
First carry of the game for Zamir White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That is caught. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Play action. It's Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And nothing but green grass here. Middle of the field. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And able to get this out to the 25. Well, this offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Smith. Open man is Myers. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Geno now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bowers. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A little over 20 yards there, and in 2 plays, they've now moved the ball over 60 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The Raiders on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They snap it to Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And this one too low.
Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Short throw, it's Higbee. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now Smith. He finds his man complete. It's Myers. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Back to throw, Smith.
That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
73 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in his first half.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Brock Bowers
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. The CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The football going back to the Rams now. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He's going to find Atwell open downfield.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. They'll fake it. Now Stafford.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. In motion goes the tight end. A shotgun snap for Stafford.
He had a man open, but he missed it, and it's incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So on fourth down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
Here's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Running back Kyren Williams deep for L.A.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
And the L.A. offense ready for this next possession.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
Stiff-armed him. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it again with Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
To throw is Stafford. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Tyree Wilson
coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. And they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
So touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
To throw is Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Smith throwing again.
That is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
2nd and 10.
Throwing is Smith. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Smith.
Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
We saw a fine performance in that first half from the running back, Kyren Williams. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Again, it's Williams. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
3rd and 3.
Now it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return.
And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Geno. Being chased out left. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now a 3rd and 6.
From the gun, here's Smith.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Going right side is White. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That good for 22 and a first down.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it, to see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else, though, right?
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
They'll try the air now with Smith. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Rams are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You've got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the fourth quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play. Stafford.
It's caught here by Adams. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing is Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. The busy night continues for Williams. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by one score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away. And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jakobi Meyers, 52 yards. And the Raiders strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Rams offense and running back